Ben White has been the best right back this season in the Premier League. I've said it, I needed to say it. I will break this down for you, but if we go off the performance, the availability of him compared to all the other right backs in the league this season, I can't see anybody that's been better than him. I've even tried to put my Arsenal bias aside, but I simply can't. Maybe in the first half of the season when the team weren't doing well, there's a case to say maybe he doesn't deserve this sort of tag. But right now, in the past 10 games, or even since Dubai, I think is richly deserved to say that. I hate saying the words unsung hero, underrated, doesn't get enough credit, but unfortunately all these things do apply to Ben White. Just because he isn't flashy, just because you don't see his highlight reels that are like Reece James, Trent Alexander-Arnold, just because he's not electrically quick like Kyle Walker, doesn't mean he doesn't deserve to be in the same group as these players. For me, it's truly baffling that this guy isn't in the England squad. It's got to be an internal in-house issue that's preventing Ben being in this squad. Because not only does he provide quality in one area of the pitch at right back, where there is a bit of injuries right now with Trent, Reece James, Walker's not playing too well, Trippier's not playing too well. Ben can be that person that fills that void left by these players. Furthermore, he adds versatility. How can somebody perform at 8 out of 10 at both right back and at 8 out of 10 at centre back as well? That is what Ben White is. He gets on with his job, he doesn't complain about it, and he looks like a player that's eager to learn. I remember in the Amazon documentary, Arteta was like, Ben, one of his best traits is that he is quick to learn, he likes to learn, he trains really well, like every game, every training session is a Champions League final, and this is the mentality that sets him apart and makes him a top player. Even Sergio Ramos agrees. He said once watching a game of Ben White at Newport, so very fairly early in Ben White's career, and he talked about the quality that Ben had, and he even pointed out who is that defender from Newport, because he played so well in that game. And once these great players with Champions League pedigree, experience, multiple Champions Leagues, multiple titles are talking about you, it just shows that you're destined for the top. I remember when we paid 50 million for Ben White, everybody was like, this is useless, me included. How can somebody come in from a team that's fairly mid-table and make a difference to a team that wants to get into the top 4, wants to get to that next level? Well, Ben White silenced me too. Available for 38 out of 38 games each season. I remember last season, Rob Holding said in an interview before he left the club that Ben White was literally playing on a grade 3 or grade 2 hamstring, where most players wouldn't even be able to move, and he still wanted to play. It was the game against Newcastle United where we lost 2-0, and it was an abysmal night that pretty much ended our Champions League hopes. But such is the player that Ben is. He wanted to be involved, he wanted to play, and testament to him and Mikel Arteta's talent ID to know what he's bringing in. It's testament to them both. I don't think many right backs, let alone many players, would want to play on an injury like Ben White did. And he did it without any complaints. We didn't even know about it as fans. And I think he was one of our better players on the night as well. So fair play to Ben. And that's a top right back that needs to be on the plane to go to the Euros. Surely, unless Southgate is blind. That new contract Ben White is about to receive is richly deserved. I have no complaints about it. I reckon for everything, if we just include everything, him as a player, he played 38 out of 38 games. He's consistent. He never complains. He trains like every game's a final. He plays like every game's a final. He's versatile. He can play right back. He can play left back. Even in central defensive midfield, he can play there. He can play centre back. And it's not just this. You tell him to do a specific role, he can overlap Saka. He can come inside if we have a left back that wants to stay wide like Kivior. He's willing to learn, and at a top club where you want to win trophies, these players are crucial. And I've seen a lot of lineups which have disregarded Ben White, putting him outside of the team. I think it's ridiculous. He will be one of our main players. He will be playing 38 out of 38 games every season, because I don't think there's a player that provides his quality. Even with Jurriën Timber and Tomiyasu fit and ready to come back, I feel like Ben White is the mainstay, and it's his place to lose really at right back. If you watched the Manchester City versus Liverpool game the other night, where Luis Diaz literally took Kyle Walker on a walk, it was ridiculous. Specific run in the game, Diaz had the ball, he was attacking where Walker was, and you know, Walker is one of the quickest players in the league, and Diaz left him for dust. And if we remember back to when Liverpool played Arsenal at the Emirates in that massive 3-1 win for the Gunners, Ben White had a similar situation where Diaz was far ahead of him and he had to chase him back. And the way Ben White just caught up, got into a defensive position, blocked the shot like it was nothing, was remarkable. If we're giving Kyle Walker the credit for his recovery pace, his defensive play, then it would be stupid not to do the same for Ben White. Now, if we look at the specific qualities of Trent Alexander-Arnold, another right back that is considered way better than Ben White, if we look at his attacking play, he provides a lot of assists. He's crucial to Liverpool's creativity. Well, Ben White up against Brentford was crucial to our creativity. He almost played like a quarterback. I saw a tweet saying that Ben White's best role is essentially a quarterback, throwing the ball into areas, attacking the ball in areas as well that are wide, and just getting the ball into really good positions where players can attack it. And that's what happened for our first goal and second goal. He overlapped in the second goal, showing his overlapping quality when Martin Odegaard played him through and he assists Kai Havertz. And then for the first goal, he showed playing from deep he can provide quality as well, that Trent does, right on the head of Declan Rice, who finished it off superbly. So we could essentially say he is the best of both worlds, both defensively and both in attacking sense as well. You almost want to say he's a luxury player, the sort of player any manager would love to have in their team or in their squad. So to end this video, I just want to say two things. Gareth Southgate, he has got to go to the Euros. And also a message to all the fans in the Premier League. If you're watching Ben White and you think he's average just because he's not flashy, just because he doesn't have an excitement or a trait that's so specific that makes him special in a way, I don't know what to say to you, but start watching games properly. Start seeing Ben White's influence in the team and the different roles he's given and how he's able to adapt in-game, overlap a player like Saka's quality. Is hard, especially with how much we have the ball as a team. It's a hard task for him to be constantly bombarding forward, then think about going backwards. That's all for now, Gooners and Premier League fans alike. If you click on this video, please like, share and subscribe for more. More content is coming, looking at the Arsenal players that deserve the credit they deserve for the consistent performances they have, just like Ben White. So stay tuned for that, and goodbye for now.